Eminem, born Marshall Bruce Mathers III on October 17, 1972, in St. Joseph, Missouri, has become one of the most influential and controversial figures in the history of hip-hop. But did you know that before he was selling out arenas and breaking records, he was just a kid struggling to survive in the rough neighborhoods of Detroit? Raised by his single mother, Eminem had a tough childhood marked by poverty and bullying. He dropped out of high school at 17, but music was always his escape. He was inspired by rappers like LL Cool J and Ice-T, and despite being a white kid in a predominantly black genre, he knew he had something special to offer. Eminem's journey to success wasn't easy. Early in his career, he was often laughed off by record executives who couldn't imagine a white rapper making it big. But in 1997, fate intervened. Eminem had recorded an underground album, the Slim Shady LP, which made its way into the hands of Dr. Dre, one of the biggest producers in the world. Here's a fun fact: when Dre first heard Eminem, he didn't even know he was white. Dre was blown away by his unique voice, flow, and raw talent. He quickly signed Eminem to his label, Aftermath Entertainment, and in 1999, they released the Slim Shady LP. It was a huge success, earning Eminem his first Grammy Award and launching him into the mainstream. But Eminem wasn't just another rapper, he was a cultural force. His alter ego, Slim Shady, allowed him to express his darkest thoughts, often in a satirical and controversial way. Songs like My Name Is and Guilty Conscience shocked listeners with their dark humor and unapologetic honesty. Did you know that Eminem wrote most of the Slim Shady LP while working at a factory and barely making ends meet? That hunger and frustration fueled his lyrics, and it resonated with millions of fans who felt like outsiders just like him. Eminem's next album, the Marshall Mathers LP, took things to another level. Released in 2000, it became the fastest-selling solo album in U.S. history, moving over 1.7 million copies in its first week. Songs like Stan, The Way I Am, and The Real Slim Shady became instant classics. But this was more than just an album, it was a statement. Eminem was no longer just a rising star, he was a dominant force in music. Stan, in particular, was groundbreaking. The song, about an obsessive fan, became so iconic that the term stan is now widely used to describe intense fandom. Did you know that Eminem originally didn't want to release The Real Slim Shady as a single? He thought it was too playful compared to the darker themes on the album, but it went on to become one of his biggest hits and won him another Grammy Award. The Marshall Mathers LP also earned Eminem critical acclaim, but with that success came controversy. His lyrics were often criticized for being violent, offensive, and misogynistic. Yet, Eminem defended his art as a reflection of the darker sides of his psyche, never shying away from addressing his demons. What makes Eminem truly unique is his ability to be brutally honest about his personal struggles. Throughout his career, he's been open about his battle with addiction, depression, and his tumultuous relationship with his mother and ex-wife. His 2002 album, The Eminem Show, continued this trend, offering deeply personal tracks like Cleaning Out My Closet and Haley's Song, where he talks about being a father to his daughter, Haley. Did you know that despite all his fame, Eminem has always remained fiercely protective of his daughter? In many interviews, he said that being a dad is his most important role, and he's even mentioned Haley in more than 20 of his songs. Then came 2002's 8 Mile, a semi-autobiographical film that told the story of a young rapper trying to make it out of Detroit. Eminem not only starred in the film, but also created its groundbreaking soundtrack. The lead single, Lose Yourself, became one of the most motivational anthems in music history. Here's an incredible fact: Eminem wrote Lose Yourself in one take while on the set of 8 Mile. The song won him an Academy Award for Best Original Song, making him the first rapper to ever win an Oscar. 8 Mile cemented Eminem's status as not just a rapper but a multi-talented artist who could dominate in both music and film. Despite his massive success, the mid-2000s were some of the darkest years for Eminem. He struggled with drug addiction and even overdosed in 2007, nearly losing his life. But in 2009, he made a triumphant return with his album Relapse, followed by Recovery in 2010. Recovery was a major turning point for Eminem, not just musically but personally. Songs like Not Afraid and Love the Way You Lie, featuring Rihanna, showcased his growth and maturity as an artist. He was no longer just rapping about his inner demons, he was confronting them head-on. Recovery was a massive success, winning him another Grammy Award for Best Rap Album. Did you know that Eminem has won 15 Grammy Awards over the course of his career, making him one of the most awarded artists in hip-hop history? His ability to evolve while staying true to his core has allowed him to remain relevant in an ever-changing music landscape. Eminem's influence on the music industry is undeniable. He helped bring hip-hop into the mainstream in a way few had done before him, and he opened the door for future generations of rappers. His technical skill, his wordplay, rhyme schemes, and ability to tell a story set a new standard for lyrical excellence. Fun fact, Eminem holds the Guinness World Record for the most words in a hit single, with Rap God containing 1,560 words in just over 6 minutes. He's even able to spit over 10 syllables per second in parts of the song, showcasing his unmatched lyrical ability. In recent years, Eminem has continued to release music and break records. His 2018 album, Kamikaze, was a surprise release and debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, proving that even after decades in the game, he's still got it. In 2020, his album Music to Be Murdered By was another hit, with songs like Godzilla, where he once again showcased his lightning-fast rap skills. Did you know that in Godzilla, Eminem breaks his own record by rapping 224 words in 31 seconds? Despite all his accomplishments, Eminem remains a relatively private person. He's not active on social media, and he rarely gives interviews, which only adds to the mystique surrounding him. But through his music, he's shared more of his personal life than most artists ever would. From his struggles with addiction and mental health to his complicated relationships and fatherhood, Eminem's music is a reflection of his life in its rawest form. But here's something that surprises many people: Eminem is a huge comic book fan. He's mentioned in interviews that growing up, he loved reading Marvel and DC comics, and they even influenced his early storytelling and character development in his lyrics. He's also been vocal about his love for video games, particularly Donkey Kong and Call of Duty. Eminem's legacy as one of the greatest rappers of all time is cemented. He broke boundaries in hip-hop, proved that talent transcends race, and pushed the limits of lyrical creativity. He's influenced countless artists, from Kendrick Lamar to J. Cole, and his impact on the genre will be felt for generations to come. So, whether you've been a fan since the early days of the Slim Shady LP or you discovered him through his more recent work, one thing is clear: Eminem is a living legend whose influence stretches far beyond just music. His story of rising from poverty to becoming a global icon is one of resilience, talent, and undeniable genius. And with each new release, he continues to remind the world why he's the rap god.